Hello viewers, my name is SuperCoopKid64 and today I'm going to show you how to design your own hoodie. Step 1. Gather your supplies. So for this project you're going to need a hoodie or any article of clothing of choice, masking tape, scissors, fabric spray paint, ruler for those who want to create more precise patterns. You're going to want paper towels in handy. And you'll also need something to keep paint from bleeding through to the other side of the shirt. Step 2. Tape your design onto the hoodie. So, measuring your tape against the ruler will take forever. So, yeah, that's consumed a lot of hours. So, what I've discovered is put the tape roll on the table, align the first ruler mark with the cut section of the tape roll, and use the roller to roll the roll along the surface until you reach the mark of length you wish to cut. I find it a lot more accurate and faster. So before showing the creation process of the shirt in the beginning of the video, I want to first show a downscale demonstration so you understand the basic concepts of the project. Step 3. Begin painting. And I didn't film it at a good angle, so let's move ahead to Step 4. Remove, retape, repaint, and repeat. So, before removing the tape, wait until the paint on tape and the shirt are dry enough to not leave residue on your hands when you touch it. And dab it with paper towels as needed. Some paint may run down on you. When retaping, since patterns are established, assuming you want to have a cleaner cut, you'll need to guide the tape along as you tape it in place. And don't worry about picking up paint when you remove it, assuming that you let the paint dry. So keep in mind you can do more than a solid color. You can put multiple colors on the same pattern. You can even lightly miss the paint for different effects by quickly tapping on your paint nozzle. You should be aware of what type of sprayer you're using, whether it's a manual sprayer, a pressure can, or anything in between. And repeat. I think you get the gist of it. And once again, get along with your fingers, repaint, and keep doing it until it's done. Remove the tape and bask in the glory of your creation. And now let's take it from the top. Tape it. Tape it. And get to work. So to not just leave you with I'm just gonna give you advice on what I picked up and stuff. So, the brighter the clothes, the bolder the color. White clothes are your best option. The darker clothes you work with, it's gonna be harder for the colors to pop out on you. The type of fabric affects how much paint you'll need. I noticed that things like jeans will need to be sprayed a second time. You'll be able to tell once the first dousing dries. You'll see spots. So you'll need to even that out. Assuming you want to, anyways. Different paints handle differently. I've used a small variety of paints, so I'll tell you what I know of them. Aerosol fabric spray paint. It dries the fastest. It's the quickest to use. Even disbursement of color. However, the color is quite faded from what I've seen. Those really pop out. Fabric spray paint with manual spray. It takes some time to dry. It's a longer process. However, you'll be rewarded with bolder and brighter colors. That's slightly uneven disbursement. I prefer the manual spraying over the aerosol spray. As for aerosol tie-dye, I wouldn't recommend it. It just seeps behind the tape, and using too much is very easy to do. Fabric paint works in its own ways. Some things don't really work as well. Tie-dye, it's not good for sharp shapes and details. The marker, very time consuming. Color gets diluted after the first wash. So fabric marker. The very first shirt I designed was with a fabric marker, and I have to say the results were decent. Wasn't like the cleanest design, but with a marker, you probably shouldn't really expect it to be. But overall, it kept its color for a while. So, use duct tape at your own risk. It's more likely than masking tape to leave sticky residue once you remove it. And this one's important. Be sure you're happy with the design you tape before you start painting. From what I've experienced, you can sort of paint over it only once. Well, I shouldn't really say once, but if you spray a section too much, hoping to quote-unquote edit your design, it'll show. The section will get rough and flexible, and it'll have like rugged textures. You know those like commercial shirts with plastic designs on the front or back? Multiply that feeling by like 4 or 5. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Read the directions for the paint. The directions often tell me to wash the clothes 72 hours after the paint has initially dried. Also usually says to turn it inside out before washing. You can wash it with other stuff, by the way. And afterwards you can wash it normally with the outside out. I washed that flag I designed earlier. As you could tell, I couldn't turn it inside out, but it didn't show any notable signs of fading or smudging. Something to point out, but even so, I would listen to the directions on the thing. Put something in the shirt so that the paint doesn't seep through. I usually use cardboard. There are products specifically designed for this purpose, but let's face it, I'm too lazy to go out to get those things or use those things. But anyways. And for hanging painted clothes, put the shirt on a hanger, crumple up a paper towel, and stuff it on the collar. It should open the inside enough for all sides to stay separated. This also works with sleeves. Though, as for keeping long sleeves from touching the sides, you're going to have to be creative about that. I usually tape them to something adjacent, like a wall or drawer, but really, I can't say that I have a set method for this. Also, I would recommend working in the heat of the day, as you can see that I'm doing. It'll make the paint dry a lot faster. I guess that's it for advice. You know, one thing I'd like to note, this shirt that I made was sort of like winter themed. So it's kind of fitting that I find it to be like one of my warmer articles of clothing. Just thought that was weird. Cool, kind of weird. Oh. Anyways, it is finished. And like that, it is done. So, that's how you design your own hoodie. Or any other clothing. Keep in mind, this is your project. So create the way you want it. And what better way to express your style than by creating it in your own image? Feel free to share designing advice to your fellow commenters, and thanks for watching.